Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I'm proud to offer premium wireless for just $15 a month. And I'm proud that we have thousands of 5-star reviews from customers like Dan D. in New York, who writes, "I am satisfied customer. How can this only be $15? He wrote it in all caps. I needed you to feel it, like he feels it. I hope I did that justice, Dan. And I hope that you try Mint too at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months required. New subscribers only. Renew for 12 months to lock in savings. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com.
On today's Smart 7, another historic day in Northern Ireland, shock diagnosis for King Charles and lots more. It's Tuesday, 6th of February, it's Safer Internet Day, and happy birthday, Rick Astley.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
The successful restoration of power sharing in Northern Ireland was celebrated on Monday as UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Irish PM Leo Varadkar visited Stormont to meet with new First Minister Michelle O'Neill and Deputy First Minister Emma Little Pengelly. Both the UK and Irish governments were keen to place an emphasis on returning Northern Ireland to business as usual after 2 years without effective government. Rishi Sunak was warning that this is not the time to be considering broader questions about Northern Ireland's future.
Our new deal gives them more funding and more powers than they've ever had so that they can deliver for families and businesses across Northern Ireland. And that's what everyone's priority is now. It's not constitutional change, it's delivering on the day-to-day things that matter to people.
The Irish government didn't sound any keener to start conversations about a possible Irish reunification poll, or indeed the notion of a united Ireland. Questioned by reporters, Irish Taoiseach Leo Varadkar was sticking to the script.
I think today really is about marking the fact that the Good Friday Agreement, which we voted for in big numbers, is now functioning again. The Assembly is operating. I think today really should be about that rather than constitutional questions.
6 members of a US-backed Kurdish group were killed on Monday in a drone strike by Iranian-backed militia. The strike hit part of the Al-Omar US airbase in eastern Syria and demonstrates that there is no sign of any easing of tensions in the region. UK Defence Secretary Grant Shapps was in the House of Commons on Monday to report on the latest wave of strikes carried out by the US and the UK against Houthi forces in Yemen over the weekend. He was taking a strong line as he maintained the UK's right to act against Red Sea attacks.
Appeasing the Houthis today will not lead to a more stable region. And we're not seeking confrontation, and we urge the Houthis and all those who enable them to stop these illegal and unacceptable attacks. But if necessary, the UK will not hesitate to respond again in self-defence.
There was no good news from Gaza either, as Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu warned that the war will take several more months. US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken was back in Saudi Arabia on Monday as he continues to pursue a peace deal, but Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem Fleur Hassan Nahum wasn't sounding optimistic about the prospect of a hostage release anytime soon.
We know that their physical condition is deteriorating every single day, and we're really very worried about them, and we heard yesterday that Hamas has not accepted the deal, unfortunately. So we pray that they will accept the deal quickly and we can get them out very quickly.
There was grim news on Monday evening as Buckingham Palace announced that King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. It was detected during his recent treatment for an enlarged prostate, but it's understood that it's not prostate cancer. The King is 75 years old and, according to the palace, is wholly positive about his treatment, which began on Monday. He's going to step down from public duties while the treatment is ongoing, but will continue with his constitutional duties as head of state, while Prince Harry is intending to return to the UK for a visit. Sky News' Alistair Bruce says that the decision to go public might have a positive effect.
Bringing it to light is perhaps some of the work that the King hadn't necessarily planned to do with his reign, and yet I think the impact of this announcement and the fact that it's being shared so clearly with so many people is part of what he may be able to do to support the nation and all the people who are suffering from this disease.
Politics is always complicated in an election year, but the US has been tying itself in knots as Republicans follow the bidding of Donald Trump to slow down any legislation he sees as helping President Biden. Ukraine has been left waiting for aid, and now a new bipartisan bill aimed at making major changes to the US immigration policy and resolving an ongoing crisis at the Mexican border looks doomed to failure. Trump has described the bill as horrendous, although it's the most comprehensive set of reforms proposed in a long time and has seen Biden compromise to help push the bill through. Senate Majority Leader Democrat Chuck Schumer says action needs to be taken in Congress.
I say to Speaker Johnson, do the right thing. You know what the right thing to do is. You know we need to fix our border. You know that it has to be bipartisan. The bill that you passed didn't get a single Democratic vote in the House or the Senate. How are you going to get anything done?
Still to come on the Smart 7, a hat trick helps Man City and Keanu Reeves pays tribute to a long-time collaborator. Right after this.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. You know, it's hard to believe that inflation is still a thing, but boy, it sure is. And that's exactly why Mint Mobile still gives you premium wireless for just $15 a month. Well, it's also because we have that offer printed on, like, 1 million t-shirts, but it's mostly the inflation thing. So give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months required. New subscribers only. Renew for 12 months to lock in savings. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com.
Welcome back. There was one Premier League game on Monday night. As the schedules are cleared for the FA Cup fourth-round replays on Tuesday and Wednesday, Man City travelled to face Brentford with the aim of closing the 5-point gap to Liverpool at the top of the table. Brentford scored first, but that wasn't enough to hold off City or Phil Foden, who bagged a hat-trick and put Man City back within 2 points of Liverpool. Manager Pep Guardiola was clearly impressed with Foden's performance.
He's a guy in a sense of goal. He loves to be moving the 80-yard box and have a lot of weapons with the shoots, with you ahead of the second one. So, yeah, I think he's playing his best seasons since we are together. So the incidents and the goals and assists playing in this central position.
This weekend saw the Saturn Awards recognising the best of science fiction, fantasy and horror movies. The awards are celebrating their 51st year and mark the occasion by introducing the new Lance Reddick Legacy Award. Lance died suddenly in 2023, just before John Wick 4 hit cinemas. He famously played the concierge, along with many roles including in The Wire and Resident Evil. The first recipient of the Lance Reddick Award was fittingly his longtime collaborator Keanu Reeves.
For over 25 years, Lance made an imprint and raised the bar in every work of art and genre he was in, not only with his performance, but with the man he was.
Fans of The American Office have been hoping that rumours of a reboot might be true, but in the meantime, John Krasinski, or Jim Halpert, has assembled quite a few of the old crew for his new movie called If. The movie features a girl who develops the ability to see everyone's imaginary friends, and it's written and directed by Krasinski. The cast includes Steve Carell, alongside Ryan Reynolds, Emily Blunt and another former Office star, Randall Park. In fact, in the latest trailer, they recreate the Office gag, where Randall played Asian Jim, much to the confusion of Ryan Reynolds. If is out on May 17th.
I had the idea for this movie about 7 years ago, and I wanted to do a movie about imaginary friends called If.
This is a movie that John and I have been talking about for years now, something that feels a bit like a live-action Pixar film.
The movie is about a little girl named Bee, and as a coping mechanism, she starts to see every single person's imaginary friend.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.